Hi everybody, welcome to my channel. Thank you so much for stopping by. It's time for me to talk about my wedding dress. I got a blue wedding dress. I picked it up from Etsy. It's the same shop that I got my engagement photo shoot dress, and I have a relevant video for that. So today I'm going to be breaking down where I got it, how much did it cost, how did I feel about it, was it worth it, do I recommend shopping on Etsy for your wedding dress, especially with this particular shop, because obviously that's the only experience that I personally have with that type of thing. I do want to put a slight trigger warning that I will be talking about weight gain and weight loss and just body image issues and internalized insecurities, so I will make the screen black and white when it's time for those topics to be discussed, but I'll also put a timestamp in the pinned comment just so that you're aware of some topics that I'm going to be mentioning in this video. So I just got married January 13th of 2022, but I bought my dress back in 2020, back when everything was shutting down, when the world was very chaotic for all of us and there was a lot of uncertainty. I picked it up because I knew I had the money and I knew that I would probably burn through money quickly. I have bad spending habits, and I knew that I didn't want a white dress, and that's not me trying to be like, ooh, I'm not like other girls, I'm different. It's more so the fact that I just know what looks good on me and what doesn't, and white, especially an all white outfit, is not flattering on me whatsoever. I very rarely wear the color white, even on a daily basis, and I knew that going forward for my wedding, it was not gonna look good. It was not a good look for me. Same thing like having my hair up. I knew I wasn't gonna do that because having my hair up is not a flattering look for me. So I was looking for something a little bit non-traditional. I was looking for something with color. Blue is one of my favorite colors. I was definitely leaning towards that. Plus Cinderella is one of my favorite Disney princesses, and this wedding ended up having Cinderella vibes kind of incorporated within. It was never super on the nose. I'd probably say the dress was probably the most on the nose thing, even though it's very different than the wedding dress that she wears or the blue classic dress that she has, silver, blue, whatever. So I got my engagement dress and wedding dress from a shop on Etsy called Wardrobe by Dulcinea, and she does stunning work. It's beautiful. Everything she has is beautiful. After I purchased both of these dresses, because I got my engagement one from here as well, I ended up finding a lot of beautiful designs that she came out with, and I feel like if that had been available when I was making my purchase, I probably would have chosen them. There's one called Paloma, which is bird in Spanish. Beautiful, gorgeous. I absolutely love it. Then there's this blue one, which is like a perfect way of incorporating blue into your dress without it being like super in your face and intense. So she has a lot of great options, and I did pay for this with my own money. Basically, once you place an order, after a couple weeks when it's your turn on the queue, she'll message you so that she can get your measurements, which I would say is the only tricky part, and that was the tricky part for me, in that I had trouble. I was going through a lot personally, and when it came time to actually doing all the measurements, you have to take a picture that corresponds with it, and it was a mess. We were taking it way too far. My parents were helping me, and they're a lot older, and technology is just not there with them, so we were having issues with that. But when I chose my dress, I ended up picking this blue one right here. This is the Nora skirt. It is absolutely gorgeous, and the great thing about this shop is that you can mix and match the tops and the skirts. So I didn't get the top that you're seeing here. I should have. There's a lot that I kind of, not regret, but there's a lot that in hindsight I would have maybe done things a little bit differently. I love the dress. The dress is stunning. I chose it with the same colors that are shown in the picture. There is an option of customizing it, changing it completely. I really just love the blue that she has there because it's not just a solid blue. There's like a different intensity in the lower layers and towards the back, and it makes this beautiful train. So I decided to pick it. I had no prior experience with this shop. That was my first order that I placed, and it wasn't until later that I placed my order for the engagement photo shoot, which is also a wedding dress, and it is absolutely stunning. So that's a whole video of its own. You should definitely check it out because I feel like that dress is super flattering, just like this one is. These are custom made to your sizing, so you're not going to have that issue of it not having your size, which is something that a lot of other Etsy shops don't have. When I was looking at wedding dresses, a lot of Etsy shops popped up, but a lot of them were just size 2 to 8 or size 2 to 10, and you have to order it like that. And I feel like that's super risky because sometimes I'm a size 6, sometimes I'm a size 4, depending on the brand, depending on how they make their clothing. So I feel like that was way too risky for me. So when I found this shop and I realized that she takes your measurements and makes it for your size, that was perfect for me. So I chose this skirt. I loved it, but the top I just wasn't sure because I wanted a winter wedding, even though at the time I think it was going to be a fall wedding, but I wanted a different top. And then I saw this one and I thought it was beautiful, and I was like, this is it. And my parents really loved it. I think the lace kind of helps it feel very bridal, and we chose that one. and that was it. Because I was buying it so far in advance, I didn't need to give my measurements for a really long time. But fast forward this year, I gave my measurements, and like I said, we had issues because of the technical difficulties and just a whole lot. There's a whole lot going on, but it ended up working out. She sent me the dress and I got it in late December, or like mid-December. I got it pretty early. So I had plenty of time to take it to alterations, and she did warn me that there was a chance that with the top I would need it. And here's where my content warning kind of comes into play here. I love the top. I think the top is beautifully made. It's not itchy. It's a very comfortable sleeve. Like even the lace that is up against your collarbone is super comfortable. I did not feel it. I had no issues with it. I mean, it was a wedding in the middle of winter, so it really kept me warm, but it wasn't a heavy material or like scratchy like costumes are, or like that costume laces. So I'm really grateful for that. I think the look is beautiful. I think it's a beautiful, well-constructed top, and when you're feeling it, you can tell. It's not flimsy. It is very durable. It kind of has like boning, and it just feels good. So I was really happy about that, but putting it on, I didn't love it. And it wasn't, again, the top, because like I just said, the top was beautiful. It was really just insecurities. It was really me just like not liking how I looked. It's having all these standards of beauty kind of ingrained in you and not feeling like I'm living up to them, especially because I was comparing myself to the Janie from the engagement photo shoots, who was significantly more skinny. I'm just gonna say it straight up, like I was skinnier back then. And of course I'm someone who believes in beauty at every size. Like I 100% support women in that, and men, but it's hard when it's yourself. I feel like for all of us, like when we're talking about ourselves, it's hard to not be as judgmental. Do you know what I'm saying? Like I'm not judgmental towards other people, but I am hard on myself. So for me, I was looking at myself with that top when I first tried it on. I was not happy. I thought it was really unflattering. I think I just have all these internalized negative thoughts about my body, and I was just really disappointed. And like I said before, it had nothing to do with her craftsmanship, because the top is beautiful and my parents loved it and they saw absolutely nothing wrong with it. But because I'm so critical of myself, I was looking at it like, this is not what I want. Like I need something to cover me up more, basically, I guess is what I could say. So I was kind of on the fence, but honestly I was not going to be able to find anything as beautiful, as well crafted in time for my wedding, even if I wanted to change the top. So I ended up going with it. I ended up sucking it up and being like, listen, I'm beautiful no matter what, inside and out, and like the size on the scale or the number on the scale does not, you know, like it's fine. Like I'm gonna be fine, and I just had to kind of get over it. Are there pictures where I look at it and I'm like, I don't like it? Yes, there are. There are some pictures where I'm just hard on myself, and I hate that. I don't like being that way. It's just something that kind of I've internalized from social media, from being on Instagram all the time. I swear I don't have that issue that often, but I guess because I had a lot riding on it, I had like, this is just an event that you kind of put on a pedestal, or at least I did, where it's like, this is my wedding picture, these are the most important pictures of my life. And really, they don't have to be. Like, I could renew our vows and like have a totally different dress, and it's fine, and it's not a big deal, and it's not an all or nothing thing. But yeah, I was upset with it. I was upset that I didn't look like I wanted to look in the dress. And I tried to shake it off as much as I could, because my parents loved it and it didn't need any alterations. Like I thought it was fine. There was a little bit of bunching in the material towards the back of the zipper, and that could have been fixed, but because I was so upset, I was just like, oh, it's fine. Like my hair kind of covered it. My hair is really long, even though we did curl it a lot, and I kind of don't like as much. The curls were supposed to drop a little and they didn't, because who knew my hair holds curls really well. I guess I should have known because my hair is naturally curly, but yeah, that's how I felt. I don't know, but the dress is beautiful. Like I said, I do recommend the shop. I think there's just so many beautiful things, and I find myself on the website still to this day, even after my wedding, kind of looking at these dresses and thinking, where can I wear this? Like, what reason do I have to buy another dress? Because they're just so beautiful. And yes, I did pay for it with my own money. I think I already mentioned that, but just in case, I made that decision because I wanted full control over what I was picking. I didn't want my parents to have an influence. I didn't want them to think that they had a say in it because they were purchasing it. So I did pay for it myself. I'm so happy I did, and I bought it in advance, and I let her know if that was okay in order to ensure that it was still going to be available later on, since I did buy it like a year, I think almost 2 years in advance. So I wanted to make sure that it was going to be available, because sometimes things sell out if she can't find the material anymore. So I'm super glad I got the dress. The skirt, stunning, amazing, highly recommend. I really am curious to see how that would look in pink. I think like different shades of pink would be so freaking beautiful, and that would probably be something that I would want in the future if I was like being extra and was gonna renew my vows. I would want like a pink dress or like blush or something. I don't know. I just love her stuff. I think she's amazing. It was well worth it. And now you finally have seen my wedding dress, because I know I've been talking about it for so long. The blue was perfect. Like, it's just the perfect shade, and the skirt was not itchy or anything. It wasn't it didn't tear. Like, it went through a lot. That skirt went through a lot. Walking through Central Park, there was mud, there was ice, there was leaves, there was twigs, and yes, some of those twigs did get stuck in the skirt, but there was no actual tearing. Like, the skirt is intact after like 4 or 5 hours of filming and shooting and taking pictures and climbing up on boulders and steps and stuff, but it's just a little bit muddy, so I do have to get it cleaned. But I'm really happy with it. It was not itchy, it was not heavy, it was just as comfortable as the Soraya one was, so I'm happy about that. And yeah, that's my wedding dress. I got it on Etsy and I am super thrilled with it. I think it went really well. And if you made it to the end of this video, let me know what your wedding dress looked like. Did you have fun with it? Did you go a little bit different, or would you do that now in hindsight? And yeah, I will see you very soon with another video. Bye.